Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Today, of course, is Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Memorial Day. The first line of the first volume of the Talmud reads as follows: Me'emasai koren es shma ba'arvis, which can be translated to mean, how do we say Shema, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, our assertion, our certainty that God is one. This is our primary statement of our faith and belief in God. Me'emasai koren es shma ba'arvis, how do we say Shema at night? How do we affirm our belief in God in darkness? In the darkness of pain and persecution, both national and personal. We do it. We're required to do it. It is what is called of us. But how? How do we manage that? And this is one of the heaviest questions we face today, Yom HaShoah, commemorating the Holocaust, and for many of us every day. The Talmud, of course, is the main repository of Jewish wisdom. And the Talmud opens by posing this question. And the Talmud provides an answer. As many of you know, the Talmud is largely a series of discussions, debates on issues of Jewish law. Concepts are developed, questions are asked and answered, and there is one intriguing answer that is provided numerous times in response to numerous questions in the Talmud. There will be a question, and the Talmud will say the answer is Taku. Taku. You ask a question, the answer is given Taku, and then you go on to the next subject. What does Taku mean? Taku is an acronym that stands for the words Tishbi, Yitaretz, Kushios, Va'abayos. Tishbi refers to Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, who is the harbinger of Mashiach. Eliyahu Hanavi, the prophet Elijah, will come to us to announce the imminent arrival of the Messianic era. And when Eliyahu Hanavi comes, Tishbi, Yitaretz, Kushios, Vabayos, he will answer all our questions. Eliyahu Hanavi will answer all of our questions, including, the Talmud means to say, this question, whatever it is that is before us. So, Taku, and let's go on to the next subject. What kind of an answer is that? Rabbi Matisyahu Salomon explains it in the following way. What Taku means to tell us, and the answer that it provides us to whatever question we are asking, is that there is an answer, even if we don't see it now. There is an answer, and we can wait for that answer. We can wait for the correct answer. We can wait for the authentic answer, because it will come. Many people want immediate answers, even if they are facile, even if they're wrong. Taku means we can wait. We have faith that the answer exists, and we have faith that the answer will come, and we can wait. Sometimes I have the feeling and I imagine many others at times do as well, that I am like Job, Eov, the Bible's paradigm of a person afflicted with undeserved suffering. And when those times hit me, I'm just baffled. And with whatever it is that I do understand, I just have no way to understand what is happening to me at that moment. And that bafflement causes an ache inside of me. It causes an anguish, especially at night. So I have a promise. And it's a promise I need to tell myself, to remind myself of this promise. And it's a promise that I make to every one of you when you feel like Job. I promise. Taku. There is an answer. You will get an answer. What is the answer? I don't know. Why don't you or I have the ability to know the answer now? I don't know that either. When will we know this answer? That too I do not know. But there is an answer, and we will get that answer. And as unrealistic and improbable and maybe even offensive as this sounds, when that answer comes, you and I will think that it is a good answer, a perfect answer. But until then, we wait. We wait with patience. We wait with confidence. We wait with humility. Taku. The answer is there. It exists. It's coming. Until then, we wait. To my mind, the biggest question of the Holocaust is not how could it happen, which is, of course, a very, very big question. The biggest question is not even how could God allow it to happen, which is certainly an even bigger question. But to my mind, what confounds me the most, what I am least able to comprehend, how is it that anyone survived the Holocaust with their belief in God intact? How is it that there are any believing Jews after the Holocaust? So I want to share with you a story from Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz. He was the Rosh HaYeshiva, the head of the Mir Yeshiva. He and his students survived the war by traveling through Poland, through Russia, eastward. They survived in Shanghai. He went on to relocate his yeshiva in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. And he once met a man who had survived Auschwitz. And he said to this man, "How did you survive 5 years of concentration camps and slave labor and everything that the Nazis did to you and remain a believer in God? How is it possible that you came out of the Holocaust with your love and respect for God intact. That you're able to pray every day, to study Torah, to do and to love doing mitzvos. How is it possible? So here's what this man said to him. He said, during the Holocaust, the Nazis deprived us of every opportunity to do a mitzvah. We couldn't keep Shabbos. We couldn't observe Yom Tov. We couldn't learn Torah. We could barely pray. We didn't have tefillin. Nothing. The Nazis took away every opportunity, even for a moment, of holiness or spirituality. There was only one thing we had. The one thing they could not take away from us was the moon. So as you know, our calendar follows the cycles of the moon. This coming Shabbos is the beginning, the first day of the month of Iyar. And on the first Saturday night after Rosh Chodesh, so that means not this coming Saturday night, but the next Saturday night, after Shabbos is over, we will go outside, we will look at the moon, and we will say a bracha. And we call this Kiddush Levana, the sanctification of the new moon. The moon is in its new phase. The moon gets smaller and smaller. It appears as if it is gone, as if it has disappeared, and then there is a new moon, a very slight crescent, and it grows and grows and grows until it's full, and then it starts to wane again. The cycles of the moon. So as the moon is just starting to get larger, we go outside and we say this bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe. Asher b'mamaro bara shchakim. With your word, you created the heavens and everything in the heavens. V'lalvana amar shetischades ateres tiferes lamuse batan. And to the moon, you, God, said that the moon should renew itself as a crown of splendor for the Jewish people. Shehem asidin lischadish kamosa, the Jewish people who are destined to renew themselves as well. Baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you, God. Mechadesh chodashim, you renew the moon. This man said to Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz, the Nazis could not take the moon away from us. And so even though we had to start walking before dawn out to slave labor, and we would walk back after it was dark, back to our barracks, but when the lunar cycle had just begun, we could just look up and see the new moon in the sky. And he says that he remembers that as we were being marched back, we would be marching in formation, and there would be a Jewish man on this side, a Jewish man on this side, and one in the middle. And the one in the middle would say this bracha out loud as they were walking and they saw the new moon. Asher b'mamara bar shchakim. Blessed are you, God, who created everything in the heavens. V'lalvana amar shetischadesh. And you said to the moon that it should renew itself every month as a message to the Jewish people, to us, walking back barely alive. Shehem asidim lischadesh kamosa, that we will be renewed as well. That was the only mitzvah we had. But it was enough. We had nothing else, no Shabbos, no kashrus, no prayer, no Torah. But that was enough to sustain us. We didn't understand. We didn't know why this was happening. But we knew that our faith in God would be renewed, just like the moon. We knew the Jewish people would be renewed. In spite of how absurd that sounded at that moment. And that was enough for us. That's the answer of Taku. Tishbi, Yitaretz, Kushios Vabayos. There is an answer. It will come. And until that time, we will wait for it with our faith in God intact. My friends, I wish you all a great day. A day of reflection, remembering, and paying tribute to the heroes of our people. And I look forward to seeing you soon in person.